what is an Akashic record reading? An Akashic record reading, theoretically, it's supposed to be a record of your soul's history through life. So it could be this life and it could be past lives. There's a lot of past life work in the Akashic records. The theory of the Akashic records is that they're literally records of your whole soul's existence. So that will mean that all your information from your personality in this life to other things from other lives, they're all in there. And the way I connect to it is that I tune in through prayer with your legal name, and then I go to your records, which I don't know where it is, but I feel like it's somewhere above in the universe. When I get to this place, there's masters, teachers, and loved ones. So these are kind of like your soul tribe, or your soul, they're kind of like your angel spirit guides, but they are on another level. They're not the same as angels and spirit guides. So the masters are the first kind. They've been with you your whole life and your whole other lives, and they've never been human. So it's kind of like, I like to call them the gods of your life, because they don't understand the struggles of being human. So sometimes the answers you can get from them are a bit let's say hopeful from them. So they really show up when we're talking about a big life lesson, or what your life purpose is, or things like that. Then we have the teachers. The teachers some have been human, some haven't been human, but they're always helping you with a lesson that you have at the moment. So if you're dealing with not feeling worthy enough, then you would have a teacher for that until you figure out how worthy you are, and then you can move on to another lesson. So after the teachers, there's the loved ones. So loved ones are either ancestors from your family in this life, or ancestors from your past lives. They are also might be somebody that lived with you in this life that passed away, or they can be somebody that was with you, or somebody that was your relative in another life that they passed away, but they still care about you and they're part of your soul group and they take care of you. So I really wanted to talk about how a session goes so that you have more of an understanding of what to expect. So as I said, I begin a session by saying the prayer, and when I say the prayer, I start connecting slowly to the energy of your records. And I usually start getting some information, or at least something about your personality, just little words here and there. I sometimes hear a whole message when I come in. So yesterday, for example, I had a session that started by saying, you're feeling lost, don't worry, we just want you to know that everything's going to be all right. Things like that. So I would get like that short message, or sometimes it is a bit of a longer message. And then the person explains what's going on with their life. So it's really important that this is not a psychic reading in the way that in a psychic reading, some people start trying, they withdraw information so that you will guess and see if you're right and if you're, fortune telling the right way. But this is not about that. Here you just lay out everything. It's like, this is what's going on in my life. And then what do you suggest I do with it? So the more details I have, the more I can help you deal with whatever's going on. I'm not trying to guess or psychically assume things. It's just more of what we can do with the information you give me, or us, I should say, me and the Akashic records. So we go into the Akashic records, and then after the message, I will say, okay, like, what is the problem you're dealing with, or what is the question you have? So somebody would be like, well, I want to know if I should change jobs, I should move, or I should break up with my boyfriend, or I should marry my boyfriend, or I want to know if it would be in my... So the way we would ask that is, would it be in your higher interest? Because the records will never tell you, yes, you should do that. No, you shouldn't, because we have free will. And this is what I like about the records so much. They're not telling you what to do, they're just advising and showing the different paths and what you need to learn in a certain situation that you're dealing with right now. So if you're doing a session with me, I really suggest you taking all the time you can to think of all the questions, all the problems. Sometimes we will go into past lives. I highly recommend asking about your past life, because you probably have a past life that came with you into this life, and there's a lesson from that. So for example, I had another reading where I was like, oh, show me a past life that is relevant, without knowing a lot about this person. It was a new person I've never met before. And she told me that, the records told me first that in this past life, before coming to this one, this person had been a priest, and he didn't want to be part of the church anymore, but it was the way that he was supporting himself. So he grew to hate religion and anything related to that. And when she came into this life, she came into a very religious family, and she always felt like the black sheep. So that's just an example of what we can work out. And she was like, oh, that all makes so much sense now, why I had this resistance. Or somebody might have been killed in another life and betrayed, and you feel like you're betrayed constantly in this life. I could name a million examples, but that's just the way an Akashic Records reading works. And it can be 30 minutes or to 45 minutes, an hour, depending on what you're looking for. So I just suggest just messaging me, and I'll explain a little bit further in detail. Thank you.